Hello, 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 everyone. Just doing a quiet morning stream, not too much talking, probably. But just want to get a little stream in the morning, see how that goes. See if we get people who watch in the morning. Again, a short stream, like 45 minutes or so. Just before I go to work. I do this normally, so might as well. Let's see what that's like. But yeah, I'm not doing face cam or anything because I don't want to set up completely for this. And yeah, I will be drinking my coffee, so if y'all hear that or me get quiet, that might be what's happening. But how's everyone doing? We're trying to figure out which bird we're gonna use. Can I use me a direct message? Okay. Nobody. Cool. Let's see what we can do. I like the idea of them being on this perching pole a little bit better. Just, you know. Just chilling on there. Let's grab the color of this and we'll make sure we get that right. There doesn't really need to be much done here, honestly. Probably want to put another one of these somewhere like here. Just as some artificial fake trees. Let's see. Something like that. It's a little bit too much on the outside. There's our little kestrel there. That's pretty good if I say so myself. Hey, how's it going, Keen? I was telling people, so it's early morning here for me, so I'm gonna be a little bit quieter, a little bit less talk, but I am gonna be streaming, just for like 45 minutes or so, just before work, as I'm not gonna be streaming in the evenings as often, so wanted to try this newer format out. So no webcam or anything, I'm just trying to get some content out to y'all. And I normally play Planet Zoo in the mornings before work anyway, so figured might as well have people able to watch that. But how are you doing today? I know it may not be early morning for you. But here it's 6:40. Yeah. Yeah. But I will probably be doing this each, or maybe not every morning, but a few mornings I'd have to imagine. Ah, UK. Gotcha. Yeah, I got a lot of other Planet Zoo YouTubers slash streamers I know who are in the UK, so they're always 6 hours ahead of me. At least it's easy to calculate. So that's at least fine. Or easy. I'm trying to figure out. My reference pictures for these have lots of ivy. But I want to figure out how to make it look not as flat and repetitive. Which can be a little tricky. I wonder if we put... Yeah. Yeah, just give me a brief second. I'm going to do my best to make it very brief because it's gotten somewhat sizable. And so I don't want to spend the rest of the stream. Alright, that adds a good bit of depth. So, this is kind of the newest section, which is pretty far away from everything. So this is my cougar enclosure that's meant to be set in the Appalachians of North America. So I do have a video on the channel doing a full tour of this, so I'll just briefly go through it, but very much meshed over enclosure. And it's also got an amphibian house. But there's our cougar, unfortunately, walking on top of what's meant to be rhododendrons. Yeah, gotcha. So, yeah, this is the enclosure I'm probably the most proud of that I've built so far. Mainly because I really like this viewing area. And it feels pretty realistic to me. I've got some implied aquariums for some amphibians in here. And then... Oh, nope, wrong way. Too far. We got a little porch viewing so you can look down. But this is our American kestrel that we're building for. We're going to have a turkey vulture over here. We'll probably transition over to working on this next. Because we're trying to build an aquarium. Thank you. So this is our aquarium that we're working on. I need to put a beam there. That will have beavers in here, and we'll have North American river otters over here. Then this is the Tri-State Trek, very much still work in progress, but we don't have plains zebra yet. So this is a ZSU zoo, so I do have to get all my species through a Discord community of other zoos, so I have to do trading and things like that. Yes, modded. So we've got eland, kudu, lechwe, and impala in here. And then this is supposed to represent a cypress dome, which have these structures of these bald cypress that's in the southeastern United States. This is meant to be like a rescue zoo, but they bought like a safari park as part of it. This is some of the foliage work that I'm probably the most happy with. I really like the way that this looks. And then we have kind of the barnyard, because this is talking about the southeastern prairies, which have been mostly destroyed for farmland. So we've got horses, we've got shade and shadow. Where's the other horse? Oh. Oh, that's perfect. That's awesome. So, they can come into this barn. We've got our Jacob sheep. I need to figure out what to do with this. I was using the mod that... Thank you. And then, yeah, Jacob sheep. Over here you can see the American donkey. And then the American guinea hog. And then this is Mima's garden, which has some implied exhibits for some spiders and stuff. And then if you go out and look out there, we've got a butterfly garden, which I'm still working on a little bit. But so native butterflies in there. Then we've got the American badger here. I really like the rockwork here because it looks like an actual rocky slope, I think. This is an implied exhibit for northern bobwhite. We'll briefly go through the wilds. Again, this area needs a lot of work, but we have an eastern chipmunk in here. This is the... Hey, thanks for the subscribe. So this is the squirrelry. This building is not complete, but that's kind of a lot of the stuff. We've got our two eastern screech owls in here. So a small species of owl. Then we've got our squirrels. We've got... These are fox squirrels, specifically Florida fox squirrels, which have that black coloration on them. I need to figure out how to make this look a little bit prettier, probably with just some decals, but... So that was the Florida fox squirrel. This is the eastern gray squirrel. And then there will be a groundhog here, but we don't have one yet. Hey, Cat Ritual, welcome to the stream. And then this area just needs a ton of foliage in it, but we'll be... Okay. Appreciate it. This is our, like, songbird garden. Thank you. I gotta stream more in the morning. We're about to make an enclosure for these guys. Also, that's not an osprey. That is a great horned owl. And looks like a barred owl, but we already have one of those as a mod. But this is our home invader's house. When I took out all the modded pieces... Yeah, I think streaming has really helped me with that as well, because I can... Where are y'all looking? There's a raccoon somewhere here that does, like, educational shows. But... Yeah, we do have some pelicans over here that I'll eventually build for. These are just... Those are my bird blueprints, so I know, like, where to grab them from. There should... Oh, there we go. So this enclosure was finished, and then I had to tear out all the modded pieces, because I was getting random crashes, and modded pieces can do that. So, got some northern raccoons in here. So all these enclosures are in various states of disarray right now, but I will fix them. Probably in some of these early morning streams. We've got our red fox. Again, all the animals here are animals that you might see raiding your trash bin or something like that. Oops. There's eastern spotted skunks in here. I probably need to put an actual floor back in. We've got... I think these are the brown rats. Yes. 9-banded armadillo in here. Ooh. Well, enclosures, let's see. 73 animals of 23 species. So at least 23. Well, actually, probably not at least 23. We've also got the Virginia opossum in here, and then the black rat over there. That's a shame, because I used to have the null habitat gate. This is kind of the entrance area. Again, this is supposed to be a smaller zoo, so don't want to go with anything too fancy. I might want to make this a more faded color. Here you can see where I grabbed the Kestrel blueprint. And then in here, this is our kind of visitor center. Where we have the bluegill, which are not in their exhibit at the moment. I might just make them modded pieces because the mod doesn't want to work for me. Then I've got some corn snakes, some common king snakes again, demodded enclosures, so I need to work on that, and bull snakes. So that's the zoo as it is right now. If I zoom out, you can kind of see it's sprawled along here. We're going to have like a reptile house over here, and then white-tailed deer, bobcat, a few things like that. But let's work on this, because I like the idea of just the path. I wanted to hide the path, and so it's all custom pathing, so unfortunately the path just isn't quite lined up right, but to me it's just a minor inconvenience, so I don't usually bother with it too much. So that's this first kind of stage of this. Now we gotta see if we grab all this. Thanks. I mean, it just takes time. I haven't been working on the zoo itself for a while, but I've been in Planet Zoo for a while. I'm getting better at my skills, so. Now, do we end? This build is very much based off of the Tennessee Aquarium. I'm trying to figure out, do I bring this to here? And I think so. That's, yeah. I like the way that is looking. Let's move that in right there. Yeah, no, the whole thing is more of a zoo, but it is going to have some aquariums in it. There's a few zoos that do this. I think the Toledo Zoo does this. Trying to think. There's a few zoos that do an aquarium along with their zoo, and this zoo is technically going to have 3 aquariums. It's going to have an Everglades aquarium, this is like the rivers and lakes aquarium. And then, or are you saying the Tennessee aquarium is more like a zoo? Because I could see that as well. Now I grab that. Oh, shoot. Sorry, 1 second. My dog is knocking at the door where my wife is sleeping. That was me yesterday. Yesterday I was bored out of my mind. Alright, let's see. If we just rotate that like that. Of course I grabbed everything. Except the actual glass frame. But I think this is gonna look pretty good. It's a little scary because I haven't built a roof like this. Okay. I'll catch you later. Come on. Okay, if it's gonna be weird, we'll just... We'll just grab one. We can just grab this. Just bring this in like so. I really like this aquarium building. Now comes the hard part. Now comes the hard part. Actually joining these together. So this one, can just kind of be 45, I think. Now this one is where things get a little funky. So if I slide this in like so. Let's see. Guess it needs to be like here. Let's see. Just there. This is going to be incredibly painstaking. But we're so darn close. I think that's good. Now the question is, can I just... Well, also the question is, I suppose... let's see. That's kind of looking pretty good. What is this? Huh. We'll have to fix that. And as much as I've been enjoying this, I do actually have to go to work pretty soon, so I'm just gonna work this beam in, and then I'm gonna have to head on out. Let's look at what that's. I think that's looking pretty good so far. Again, I'm gonna have to stop streaming because I gotta go to work, but I will be streaming again tomorrow morning, I think, because I enjoyed this. Quite fun. Alright, I will catch y'all later. Bye now.